what's really interesting is I got out of the hospital and I was searching for information about ecstasy, about drugs, because I felt really alone. I think when we go through things, we feel like we're alone in it. Whether it's divorce, whether everyone else has felt it, we still feel like this is our battle and we're alone and no one understands us. And I felt so alone. So I was just looking online, different things about ecstasy. Everything I found was like, opens your heart chakra, and it's amazing and beautiful. And this was before a lot of the bad press came out about it. And so I felt even more confused. I was like, I'm the only girl who did like the love drug and went insane. So I felt really bad. And I stumbled across MTV's website, which is really funny because I have never gone to MTV's website before or since that day. And there was just like, tell us your story about your drug experience. And so I just see that and I just start typing, send. I didn't read it, I just sent it, not really thinking of it, but it just felt really good to even just write what was happening, not thinking really what was about to happen. And within 2 days, 3 days, I had a producer from MTV call me and say, we read this email and it's really powerful, and we are doing a documentary, a true life documentary, and we'd love for you to be on it. What do you say? Well, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm like, you know, on antipsychotics and all these medications, and I'm kind of out of it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, camera crew, come to my house, sure. So my mom, you know, comes home, and I'm like, hey, Mom, you know, we need milk, and an MTV camera crew will be here tomorrow to, you know, document our lives. So it happened really fast. Thank goodness it did, because I think if I had been in a different state of mind, a more stable state of mind, I would have probably not done it. Because I would have been like, there's no way I can do this. There's no way I'm going to go on national television and show people the ugliest parts of myself and my life and my fears. So they shot a bunch over 6 months, and then it aired. And I sat in my living room with my mom and my sisters, watching that, watching myself, listening to my story, looking at my brain, and I was just overwhelmed. Like, it was a surreal experience to see, you know, to see it all happen, and it really took on a life of its own. I don't feel like I chose it. I feel like it chose me, and it found me. And within days, I had people calling that had watched it, and emails coming through saying, Lynn, this is my story. I've been through this. I'm in jail. I'm here. I'm doing this. And it was this really freeing experience to know that I wasn't alone. I wasn't alone in my struggles. There were other people who understood me. I may not have it all figured out, but I don't feel so alone. And the other beautiful thing about going on national television was that it was freeing. I had nothing to hide. My whole life I'd been hiding. My whole life I'd been hiding that I grew up in an alcoholic, abusive home. I've been hiding how ugly and sad I felt about myself. I've been hiding everything. So there was this moment of truth, really, to see my life, to see that ugliness, to see all of that out there, and be like, okay, so now what do I fear now? What do I have to, what's keep holding me back? Nothing. And so from there, like I said, it really took on a life of its own. I did the Oprah Winfrey show, and started to volunteer for the Partnership for Drug-Free America. I testified in front of Congress to promote change in drug education, and just put myself out there, and one thing led to another, and then the next led to the next, and it was just, you know, over the last 7-8 years has just blossomed into something I would never have imagined for myself. You know, writing books and being able to travel the world and go to different places and rehabs and jails, which to me is one of the most rewarding and humbling and amazing experiences, to go into these jails and juvenile detention centers and rehabs, because I know what it's like to feel alone, to feel locked up, to feel like you have no second chance, you have no hope. And I think our stories are all, you know, pretty much similar. There's a common thread that connects us all, and the details may be different for each of us, but I really do believe that the human spirit, there is this common thread that binds us, that holds us together. And it really, my life has turned into something I'm really proud of. I'm really proud to be living it. I'm really happy that I have this second chance, that I'm alive, that I'm able to go and tell my story and hopefully inspire someone to to think highly of themselves, to love themselves more, whatever it is, to spread their wings, to fly, to use their life in a powerful way. And who knows if, how much of it I'm able to do, but even just planting the seeds to let people know they're not alone. I think that's the biggest part. I know what it's like. I've been where you are, and you can get out, because I do believe if one of us can do it, all of us can do it. So my life has really turned into something magical and joyful. And there are moments where, I cry and I'm sad and I'm angry and I'm fearful. But even in those moments, I'm really at peace with who I am, and I know this too shall pass. I think that's probably one of my favorite things to think about when I am going through a hard time or a happy time. I know to savor it, and I know that it's going to pass, whether it's good and I'm around my family, and to savor those moments, or when I'm by myself crying over whatever it is, I know that's going to pass. So it makes life a lot easier once you have faith and love for yourself and know this too shall pass. The good, the bad, all of it. So to make the most of your time.